What's up, guys? It's Scourge here. I recently saw a video on Twitter floating around and it kind of got me doing some digging. It was a comparison video made by IGN that was showing the similarities between the upcoming Starfield by Bethesda and No Man's Sky. And the clips, they're a little damning.
According to the scanners.
You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here and say though that just from these clips alone, I don't think it's fair to say that Starfield is straight up ripping off No Man's Sky. You could pretty much take a clip from any top-down RPG in the last 10 years and put it next to Baldur's Gate 3 and say, why the fuck is Baldur's Gate 3 ripping off every RPG ever made? Obviously, certain genres of games are going to line up with other ones, especially taken out of context with clips like these. But some of the stuff did look pretty similar, and it kind of got me digging a little bit. Because there was one reply to that post that said,
Actually, Starfield began development in 2015.
Implying that that would somehow make it impossible for this game to have been inspired by No Man's Sky in some way. But the funniest part is that they're wrong. Starfield didn't start development until 2016. And do you know what year No Man's Sky came out? Now, obviously, No Man's Sky came out in August, and I would assume that Starfield's development probably started a little bit earlier than that. But do we forget that trailers exist? The first trailer for No Man's Sky came out in 2014, a whole 2 years before the development of Starfield even began, and it was showing off its gameplay, the game mechanics, and a lot of its ideas. Still, I don't think it's necessarily fair to say that it ripped it off. Here's where I need you to stay with me a little bit. We don't live in a binary world, okay? It's not as simple as, did this game rip off this game? Yes or no? Honestly, it's probably a little bit of yes and a little bit of no. It has been stated before that the concept for Starfield started at least 10 years ago. So we're talking 2013, a whole year before No Man's Sky hype even began. But game development is a long and grueling process. It's not like the game was done when they started the concept. I think the creators of Starfield had an idea, a space exploration single-player RPG, where you could travel the universe and visit different systems of planets. And during that process, they probably ran into design concepts that are similar to No Man's Sky. Mining different objects, scanning animals and plant life on new planets, having different species on every planet, fucking being in a spaceship. You know, these are obvious things that you could come up with when designing a space exploration game. But what starts to raise those red flags for me a little bit is the UI choices. It would be so ignorant to say that some of these HUDs don't look exactly like No Man's Sky. And that's okay. It's okay to be inspired by things. I think it's silly to ignore the fact that No Man's Sky was a milestone in video gaming. Whether that's because it ruined any future expectations that you have for video games, or you see it as a Cinderella story where a company actually came back and made a good game after going through hurdle after hurdle. I don't think that Bethesda is completely ripping off No Man's Sky. That's ridiculous. They have such a strong foundation when it comes to the Elder Scrolls series and Fallout. They have no reason to try to straight up rip off the little guys. But I also have a problem with people who act like it's so black and white, as if either it's a complete ripoff or it's a completely original idea. But that's not how creation works. There is no way that none of the creators of Starfield saw No Man's Sky or played it before. Unless they were locked away in a bunker somewhere since 2013 when this concept was first formed. But I highly doubt that. So what do you think? Is Starfield straight up ripping off No Man's Sky, or is it a completely original idea? Because apparently those are the only two options on the internet. Or maybe if you have a little more of a nuanced opinion, you can leave it in the comments down below. I'm streaming a couple times a week over on Twitch, guys, so just look up Scourge Slaps and catch me over there. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!